In the previous video, we saw how to avoid some of the pitfalls of upgrading the sidelights, indicators and brake lights to LEDs. In this video, we'll move on to the headlights. Pitfall 5. Are LED headlights even legal? LED headlights used to be an automatic MOT fail, but in March 2021 the rules were changed. If your car is from earlier than April 1968, LED headlights aren't necessarily illegal. But this isn't a free license to do anything you like. Headlights still mustn't dazzle, must have the correct dip pattern, and so forth. A wide range of LED headlights is now available. Quality varies a lot, and not all of them have a legal dip pattern, so check specifications carefully. I like an original look, so I chose these. This is the headlight unit. This is the LED lamp. It's powered by this electronic unit. The way I'm connecting it requires this extension cable, and the plug from the electronic unit goes into this H4 type socket, and the bullet connectors join it to the existing wiring loom. Now we can plug it all together and test it. Free the spring clip and remove the protective cover from the headlight. Next, unscrew the heatsink from the LED bulb. Fit the LED bulb to the headlight and return the heatsink. Note that it's now reversed to give more room inside the headlamp bowl. The extension piece connects to the LED, and the electronic unit connects to the other end. Finally, we can attach the H4 plug. It's a good idea to test things at this point. It will be a shame to install everything and find we have to take it all out again because of a defective part. In particular, we want to check the dipped beam cutoff pattern. The LED is preset for a typical headlight, but it can be adjusted if it's required. The LED is secured by 2 grub screws. If we loosen these, it can be rotated. The position marked in green should be great for most headlights, but the angle can be fine-tuned if necessary. Be clear that this is only to adjust the dipped beam shape. It has nothing to do with headlight alignment, which is a different issue. If you need to adjust the beam shape, this is best done with the headlight off the car and the heatsink removed. If everything is working okay, we can install the headlights in the car. The headlight outer bezel is held in place by a single screw at the bottom. It's easier to reach if you remove the indicator cover first. Now we can unscrew the headlight retainer, which is held in place by 3 screws. Make sure you get the right ones, as there are many screws in this area. Hold the headlight in place as you remove the last screw, or you may drop it. Unplug and remove the headlight. If it looks like this, it may have had a previous halogen conversion, and you may be able to reuse it instead of buying a new one. Now we can see the inner metal holder. Unhook the spring and slide it off the adjusting screws. Remove the 4 bolts holding the headlamp bowl and loosen it. Now find the wires coming through the inner wing from the headlight and sidelight. Disconnect them from their bullet connectors and unbolt the black wire. Push the grommet through the inner wing, put your hand inside the wing and pull all the wires through. Now remove the headlight bowl. If you have an H4 plug like this, you may be able to reuse it, if you can remove it from the headlight bowl without damaging the wiring. but I'm going to use a new plug and wiring. The headlight is held between the inner holder and the retaining ring. The whole lot can pivot in the headlight bowl to align the headlight beams. 2 screws hold it at the top and left and are used to adjust the beam vertically and horizontally. They act against a spring at the bottom right. Well, we have an electronic unit and a large plug to fit behind the headlight inside the headlight bowl. They look too big to fit. Pitfall 6. How do we fit it all in? The answer is we don't. We put most of it in the engine compartment. First, we'll drill a 13mm hole in the back of the headlamp bowl and clean it up. We'll block off the old hole with a rubber plug. Now we'll fit the inner headlight mount. We'll reattach the spring and off it goes under the car. Second time lucky. We'll put the wire through the new hole and refit the headlight. There are 3 tabs cast into the glass. These need to sit in the 3 recesses in the inner headlight mount. The outer retaining ring goes back and is screwed down with 3 screws. We need to do something to clean up the hole. A standard grommet won't work as the hole would be too big. Instead, we'll make one by drilling a small hole in a rubber plug. It won't stretch over the plug, so we'll have to cut it. And that's pretty tidy. We can seal it completely by giving both rubber plugs a little spray of underseal. This is an expensive way to buy underseal, but it's very convenient for small jobs. Some people would think I'm crazy for assembling the headlight unit off the car, but I find it easier. We'll fit the electronic unit under the wing, about here. We can attach it with a couple of M3 size bolts and nuts. We need to drill 2 4mm holes about 38mm apart. We might need to remove the air filter to get access. We'll also use a bit of double-sided 3M tape to make it sit nicely. Now we'll pass the extension wire and the sidelight wires through the hole in the inner wing. Again, the hole in the standard grommet will be a bit too big, so we'll drill out a rubber plug to make our own. The H4 plug and cable we have is a bit too long, so we'll cut it at about 14 inches. We'll put a ring terminal on the black cable and bullet connectors on the other 2. Next, we'll replug the sidelight and indicator. Then we'll plug in the H4 plug and cable. We just match the colours. The black wire is bolted to an earth point. Now we'll plug in the electronic unit. Finally, we'll use a P-clip and a couple of cable ties to make everything look neat. We've drilled a couple of holes to mount the electronic unit and one for the P-clip. We'll give them a quick squirt of underseal to prevent any future corrosion. Now we'll refit the rubber gasket to the headlight bowl and we'll pre-position the mounting bolts. We'll connect up the headlight and screw the headlight bowl back into place. Now we'll refit the chrome trim and screw it into place, and we'll reattach the indicator cover. And the only thing left to do now is exactly the same thing on the other side. Let's check the results and see if there's any improvement. Aligning the headlight beams isn't within the scope of this video. You'll find plenty of good tutorials on YouTube. But here's a little trick. Before you start, park the car facing a blank wall. The distance isn't important and you don't need a flat surface. Mark the car's position and also the position of the dip beams. After making your changes, put the car in the same position and adjust the beams to the previous marks. This won't guarantee your beams are properly aligned, but they should be the same as they were before. So if they were good before, they should be good now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.